Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I've got a Machinist tool pick that I went out to an estate about 45-minute drive from here back on November 11th. It's already December 22nd and I'm just getting around to shooting the video for this today. That's how backed up I've been. But anyways, we're going to dive right in. I did not actually catalog all of these tools, so I'm not going to really talk about what I paid for these. So if you guys are really interested in seeing what I paid, this video might not be for you, but there are a lot of neat tools in here, so let's dive right in. Alright, let's take a look at what we got here. So this is a 5C collet fixture. I don't see any name brand on it. It was sitting on the floor of the shop there. Rust starting to get to it. I know I didn't pay too much for this, but it's a handy fixture. It's basically, it's got a 5C collet in there right now. So you just slap a 5C collet in this and you put your stock in here, and then when if you have this tightened correctly, when you push this lever down, this will close the collet and clamp whatever's in there. So it's for production work on a manual machine. You know, you slap the piece in there, do your operation, pop it open, take it out, put the next piece in, and keep going. Nice handy jig. So these two faces are 90 degrees from each other, so you can just tram along one of these faces and line it up on your mill pretty easily. Because of the weight, I'll probably sell this to one of my guys locally pretty cheap. Got a couple of, I think these are both angle blocks sets. I think one of these is, yeah, this one's got a little bit of surface rust on it, and it's missing a couple. This is Tokwaseki. Sounds Japanese to me. Yeah, so that's made in Japan. So that's a little bit, going to be a little bit better quality than the Taiwanese Chinese ones. And then this one is an SPI set, and this one is complete. This might even be better. I think I only have a cheap Chinesium set, so I might actually upgrade my set to the SPI. The SPI is probably an cheap import too, but might be a little bit better quality. Alright, so first thing we got out of this box is a Starrett multi-anvil micrometer, a Starrett 220. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's got the correct anvil in it right now and a couple of pins. This is a box for a Fowler or something, so this isn't the original box. But alright, so this is a More Tools, alright, box, but then it says General Electric Company, and what's in here is an unusual little gauge set, and it was dumped over just like this, and so we picked up whatever we could find, and I think he threw this in because he felt that it wasn't going to be complete, but it's got these interesting little taper gauges. It's almost like a Starrett taper gauge, but it's a whole bunch of small ones. So that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Talk about interesting. Check out the back of this. It's marked More Special Tool Company of Bridgeport, Connecticut. But then it's also marked at the top here, Starrett. So that is intriguing indeed. No wonder why it looks like Starrett taper gauges. Well, I'm very happy to say that after sorting them all out and putting them in their proper spaces, all 36 taper gauges are present. This is a complete set. So it looked like heck, just dumped there on the floor. And I mean, yeah, there's a couple that have, like that really tiny one there's got a little tiny bit of surface rust on it. But I'll tell you, this is really cool. I have not been able to find one of these. This is not something that was in the Starrett catalog, from what I can tell. Looks like it was made special, probably for the Moore Tool Company. I think there originally might have been some sort of hinges or something that broke off of this. So I'm going to have to be careful with that. There is one just like this on eBay right now. The guy wants $177 and change, your best offer for it, but I doubt he's going to sell that anytime soon. but I'm probably going to keep this for myself. I have the other style, the longer ones, Starrett. I might just keep this set for myself and sell the Starrett ones, quite frankly, because this has really got a lot of range to it. The smallest taper is about 300 thousandths, and it goes up to about 1 inch. So, and for those of you who don't realize what this is, it has nothing to do with measuring a taper. It's called a taper gauge because each one of these gauges has a taper to it, and the way you use it is you have a hole, and I want to know what the size of that hole is. I basically find the gauge that fits in there like that, and I just basically insert it like that and then look at what lines line up. Surprisingly accurate for what seems like such a crude way of measuring a hole. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. It's heavy. TSD Manufacturing. Oh yeah. This is another interesting, unique doohickey. This is a precision ground bar that has a precision ground piece on the side here that can be set to a very precise angle depending on either which hole this is located in and which way this is rotated around. So, for example, if I put it into 0 and I leave that at 0 and I bring this down, this face is now parallel to this 0 degree angle. That's a 1 degree angle. Up to 4 degrees, and then just move to the next hole. That's a 5 degree angle. And that's the angle being formed by here and here. So if we continued these two lines, eventually they would meet at the vertex of this 5 degree angle. Pretty cool, huh? I've never seen one before. And like those taper gauges, this is probably going to go in Stevie's little hoard for himself. I guess it should come as no surprise to me that I cannot find one of these anywhere online. So, drill and steel wire gauge, Starrett number 186. Oh yeah, so this is interesting. So I find this Starrett 186, and it appears to be brand new old stock, clean as a whistle. And the guy says, oh, you like those? And next thing you know, he starts showing me all these other ones. So I bought a whole bunch of these. He didn't have boxes for a lot of them. So like here's like a box that just is full of loaded with these. So I don't know if originally more than one came in the box or what. This said 3 only, and somebody crossed it out. So originally there were 3 in that box. So there's a. So these it's 186. This is a 187, which is this one right here. Here's another envelope for another 186. Here's a 198. So this is a letter size. And again, appear to be brand new, clean as a whistle. Another 187. And then look, I even took the ones that had gotten wet. Starrett, General, Starrett, General. I'm guessing this is going to be a sign bar from the weight. Yep, it's a Fowler sign bar. Nice clean one. Alright, that's a good one. A little Starrett case. This is a, this is a flange or disc type micrometer with the case. A Indicol. Yeah, this is the genuine Indicol too, so that's nice. Usually the part, there it is, yeah, 178. Indicol 178, a genuine one. Nice. Got the fine adjust on it. Starrett drill point gauge. That's a nice handy tool. This is a very early Starrett box, and what we have in here is one of these old, like Starrett Verdict or whatever the heck they call these. So this is a Starrett 564 indicator. This one's locked up, so this one's going to need a little bit of attention. The way these are supposed to be able to work is that you can actually rotate this 90 degrees and it will still actuate the needle, but this one is, oh, it actually just moved. Alright, so it's just not going back. So, might not take much to fix that. I've come across these several times. I don't think I've ever found one with the original case, and that's clearly the original case because everything fits in there perfectly. Mold and all. What do we have here? Oh, this is another, might end up keeping this. This is a dual single flute countersink set. So it's piloted countersinks. So this is like if you have socket headed cap screws and you want to have them flush below the surface, then this is the perfect bit for doing that. I think this might be the only screw jack I got out of this deal. Oh, I don't know, maybe in the other boxes I found some other ones, but this is a little no-name sucker. Kind of a neat one. I was going through the toolboxes and stuff that he was letting me look through, and there were things that I would come across and he would say, I kind of want to hold on to that, or I'd find multiples and he'd say, oh, I want to hold on to, one of those, and so we'd figure out which one he wanted to keep and I'd buy the other ones. And then at one point I ended up getting a small square or something. I forget which one of these it was, and the next thing you know, that led to me going, being told, oh, I think there's more in this one and that one, and going around and buying basically all of the miniature squares that I could get my hands on. So I ended up getting alright, so here's a pair of key seat clamps. This is a Starrett 283. This is I believe a wire and what do you call it? The round wheel. It's not even open, so I'm not going to open that. But drill gauge, drill and wire gauge or whatever. This is S830 set of 5 short hole gauges. Oh yeah, this tiny square. This tiny Starrett square. So that's officially the smallest Starrett square I've ever owned. I don't think I've ever had pleasure of coming across this particular hole set. Notice how short they are. This is I believe this is a die makers, or I forget what this is called. This is a expensive little specialty square. It's number 457, and I believe that came. Alright, so it's actually, this looks like a duplicate. So he may have had more than one of these. This little Brown and Sharp 554 square. There's 2 554s. This appears to be unmarked. Well, I found the 554s in the Brown and Sharp catalog, and apparently they're supposed to come with this blade and this bevel blade and this little thin blade. So it's basically 3 interchangeable blades, and instead what I've got is I've got 2 squares, one with one of this style and this style, so that's unfortunate. Well, I was just thinking I'd go through all of my little squares that I have, because I'm kind of getting a collection of these, and figure out what I should sell and what I should keep, what I might be able to piece together of spare parts. And apparently I've found quite a few of these over the years that are missing one part or the other. Here's a few I have in a box here, and these are both identical, and they're completely unmarked on here, but the blades are sterrets, and oddly enough they look just like this one, only this one's a little bit wider, but the knob is the same, which leads me to believe that that's a sterret. And the reason why it's not marked is because they didn't mark the body, they only marked the blade. This is the only one of these that I have. This is a unique one. This has the adjustment on it that actually tilts that. But then I have this blade just laying in there, which consequently looks exactly like this blade. So I think this blade went with one of these two. And then this sterret, remember I found it with this. This consequently was supposed to come with a straight blade that this could be changed out with, which I don't have. This is one I had. This is the brown and sharp version of that. This is what the straight blade looked like that's missing for that sterret. But I checked, and these sterret ones are thicker. So this originally in the brown and sharp catalog came with one of these to go with it. But this is too thick to slide in here, so I can't put this with this. And we already figured out that these brown and sharps actually were supposed to come with 3 blades. Here's some more that I had. Here's 2 more of the 554s. Oh, my mistake. This is another one of these sterrets. So there's another one of these 554s, and again, only has 1 blade. And then this is actually a complete 554 set that I have. So this is how this is supposed to come. With that blade, this tiny little blade that's graduated, and this. Oh, mystery solved. Here's that number 14 series square that I've got several of, but only 1 blade, and sure enough, if you ordered the 14A, it came with the graduated blade only. And then you could order the 14D and you would get the complete with the graduated bevel and narrow blades. The 457 improved die maker square, you can see it came, there was a straight blade and then there was the jog blade, and you could order it as the 457A and it came with the straight blade only. So you couldn't order it with just the jog blade by itself. So interestingly enough, the fact that there is a jog blade in this means that there's a straight blade missing to that one. Oh, moving right along. Let's see, we've got a Sterret 655-441 indicator. Yeah, looks like that's in pretty good shape. Really clean. Little sluggish from sitting. And the yeah, I remember this when I was looking at it. So this is practically brand new. It's not a scratch in that. And this is very clean. And yet this is falling right out, and that's what happens when these get older. So other than that, it's pretty clean. So might end up actually taking the time and investing in a new crystal for this one. What do we got here, inside or depth mic? Depth mic. 3 rods. It's got some staining on it, but overall good shape. I'll get to this in a second. Just ended up buying pretty much all the chucks he had laying on this bench. Ended up, again, I don't remember what I paid for these, but I know I didn't get a super cheap deal on these because some of these appear to be new old stock.